in a monochrome world, broken from the sight through her lonely eyes. It reflects the ocean and stars, but her cry echoes around the simple loss of love in her heart, making this whole fairy tale a lie. Earth and sorrow's tender embrace, this was never meant to happen. The light of the day, the only reason you have to stay. Hear me sing my song and just keep holding on.
Yay! It's I almost forgot what this game was called! It's Cinderella Phenomenon time! Brain is not with me tonight. I just got done streaming Dream Daddy! Thank you all who came! I'm tired. We're gonna maybe finish this. I don't know what friggin' chapter we're on. We are on chapter 8. And there are 10 chapters. Oh boy! Did we just start this chapter? I can't remember, man. It is the day of the ball, and I am waiting for Emmy to finish her last dance rehearsal. The lesson was over an hour ago, but Emmy remains here to continue practicing the steps. Meanwhile, I am preoccupied with thoughts of Rod's curse. I cannot believe that Rod traded his voice for a title. Hello, Moth. So the reason the king was able to find Ophelia was because of Rod. It's a little difficult to wrap my head around the implications, but one thing bothers me. Rod told me why he has the curse, but he gave me no explanation as to how to break it. How did it go in the original fairy tale? Emmy finishes up the last steps of her routine before walking over to me. I hand her the glass of water I was holding for her. Thank you, Sexto. Emmy must notice my curiosity because she stops to look at me quizzically. Is something the matter? I read a little bit of the fairy tale but never finished it. Can you tell me the whole story of the Little Mermaid? The Little Mermaid? Emmy takes a seat on one of the chairs bordering the throne room and gestures to me to take the seat opposite of her. Telling a fairy tale is always a good way to wind down. Once upon a time there was a mermaid that— fucking music! There was a mermaid that fell in love with a handsome prince. One day when she was— I know this doesn't affect the recording, but it helps me. One day, she swam to the surface of the ocean to find him. She saw that the prince was celebrating his birthday on the grandest ship of the kingdom. The little mermaid was captivated by the human party and stayed to watch. Then suddenly a violent storm hit and the prince was thrown from the ship into the ocean. The little mermaid saved the prince and took him safely to shore, but she could not stay long. She eventually had to return to the ocean and leave him on land. This is similar to Eureka's rescue. The Little Mermaid was so in love with the prince that she went to see the witch who offered to trade her a potion that would turn her mermaid tail into legs. They struck a deal. The mermaid would sacrifice her beautiful voice for the legs so that she could live with the prince on land. So in Rod's case, he traded away his voice to become a prince. However, the sea witch gave the Little Mermaid a warning. She said that if she wasn't able to make the prince fall in love with her, there would be consequences. Yes, namely, if the prince fell in love and married someone else, the mermaid's heart would break and she would dissolve into sea foam. Right, shit. I cannot help but recoil. My expression must betray my horror because Emmy quickly shakes her head. There's no need to be worried. Rod has said that his curse is different from the fairy tale. You believe him? Emmy shrugs helplessly as she puts down her now empty glass of water. The fairy tale curse always twists the original fairy tale, right? Besides, it's not as if Rod traded his voice for legs, and I've never heard of a cursed person that dies because they cannot break their curse. That may be true, but Emmy does not know what Rod traded his voice for. She does not know that he did it to become a prince for Eureka. Rod is already hiding things from her. Is it possible that Rod will die the day Eureka marries Desimon? Oh my god! Okay, I can turn the music back up now. Fuck. Later that day, I find Rod in the dining hall. He appears to be inspecting the seating arrangements for the night's banquet. He glances up briefly to look at me before returning his attention to the place cards with the guest names on them. What is it? I've been looking for you all morning, damn it! I am distracted from what I am about to say when I notice Rod switching the position of 2 place cards. I frown as I catch the name of them. Is he moving Eureka's place at the table? Is he trying to make sure she sits far away from him as possible? Surely you have better things to do than stay in here. What happens if you cannot break your curse? Rod's movements stutter before he shakes his head sharply. That's something you don't need to know. I thought it was on chapter 7. What fucking... what? Oh, plead with him. I'm on chapter 8. Wait, what? I thought it was on chapter 7. I'm so confused. Alright, well... Something aches deep in my chest at Rod's coldness. Please. Rod startles so strongly that he almost drops the place card he's holding. Please tell me. We have been partners for months now. But I've barely... Yes, I know that it's an unusual partnership and that most of our helping each other has been subtle, but... I'm only a good deed away from breaking my curse, while you seem to be no closer to breaking your curse than when we started. I'll do whatever I can to help you with your curse, Rod. So please let me help you. Silence falls. Moments later, Rod sighs and looks away from me. Some unspeakably sad emotion shines through his eyes. Even if I wanted your help, Zexel, there's nothing you can do. Dread settles in the pit of my stomach at Rod's words. Could I be right? Will Rod actually die if he does not manage to break his curse? When you told me the story of the Little Mermaid, she said that the mermaid dies if the prince marries someone else. Rod, when Viorica marries Dissimon, will you? My voice trails off when I hear the sound of the door behind us. Is it Ophelia or the king? Rod rushes over... Rod rushes forward and grabs me before I can glance back at the door. Ow! I become aware of the weight holding me down on the floor. The impact of the ground against my head blurs my vision. Did he just body slam us to the ground? What happened? Making it impossible for me to see what is happening at first. Am I underneath the dining table? I struggle to try and sit up, but the weight pushes me down on me again, forcing me to be still. Fucking be quiet. Why did he push me underneath the table? I'm about to ask him aloud when the sound of footsteps silences me. I cannot help but remember what Sir Mythos was saying about rumors. If Rod and I are seen together alone by the servants, the rumors will no doubt get worse. But why is Rod doing this? I stay quiet as the people that enter the dining hall begin to talk. How strange for this place to be empty at this time of day. There is a pause, and then another voice speaks up. You better have good news for me, Mythros. Sir Alcaster and Sir Mythros? Rod hands tighten on my shoulders. Everything is as you requested, Sir Alcaster. There should be no issue. There better not be. You've disappointed me before, Mythros. I would not be careful to try my patience again. Yes, Sir Alcaster. Sir Mythros sounds oddly subservient. But why? The two of them are both ranked equally, and neither of them should have to answer to anyone other than the king. Unless Sir Alcaster is truly the witch and is forcing Sir Mythros to obey him with a spell. Wait a few minutes after I leave. We should not be seen together. I do not hear Sir Mythros respond, and I can hear Sir Alcaster leaving the room. Sir Mythros sighs out, but is otherwise silent when he leaves the room after a few moments. I exhale fully as the door finally closes behind Sir Mythros. This is bad. I was so engrossed in Sir Alcaster and Sir Mythros' conversation that I was only just now realized that Rod is hovering over me. Hi, friend, how are ya? How you doing? Howdy there, partner. You know, the cutest one here? Sebby. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm great. You just body slammed me to the ground. Otherwise, yeah, I'm good. Are you hurt? Bruised me a bit. You look a little... Rod suddenly pauses as he notices our position. He stares at me for a few moments, eyes wide. Uh-huh. You want to fix that? Alright, good. He scrambles out from underneath the dining table, and by the time I do the same, he is standing far away from me, his gaze fixed on the wall. He is bright red. It would be funny if I weren't sure I was the same color. Rod clears his throat. It seems that Sir Alcaster really is the witch. Guys! If he has the ability to make Sir Mythros obey him. Lady Parfait should be told immediately. Rod turns on his heel to leave the dining room. Rod, wait. What? This is urgent, Princess. I can't just... When Viorica marries Dissimon, will you die? Rod pauses for a moment, but I can tell from his pained expression that he will not speak. You're running out of time, Rod. Oh my god! My eyes flip between Sebby and Rod. What does that mean? Nothing. He turns away from me once again and starts walking. Dude! Rod! There must be something in my voice that makes Rod stop because he turns to look at me. Please, stop running away from this. What would knowing the answer achieve, Sexto? Though Rod's words are harsh, his tone is soft. There's nothing anyone can do. Leave it alone, Sexto. It's for the best. Dude! I could not help but get mad at Rod's dismissive tone. I moved toward him, frowning. How can you say something like that? You are not the only person that will be affected if you keep refusing to do anything to break your curse. Can you imagine what your death would do to your sister? To your mother? Losing you would destroy them. Rod's face is suddenly inches away from mine. He places his hands to the wall behind me, caging me in. Well, there's no need for that, sir. His face is flushed with anger, but the look in his eyes is tormented. My family's been dealing with consequences of my actions for the majority of my life. Don't think that I don't know what effect my curse has on the people closest to me. Besides, I don't want to involve you in this too. Well, you already have! His voice is a whisper, but I can still hear his words. Rod. Rod pushes away from me and stalks off as I stare after him. He says that, but then he still does nothing to try and break his curse. I do not understand him at all. Why is he what is stopping him? I honestly have no idea. I have no guesses. Is he gonna turn into foam, guys? Just gonna in the foam? Rod is absent from the palace for the rest of the day and returns only once the sun has set to prepare for the ball. I have not been able to talk to him since, but I assume that he has been in the march to tell Dolor and Parfait about our suspicions of Sir Alcaster being a witch. Hope to come up with an effective plan for dealing with him. The palace is not safe so long as he is here. The ball is just about to start that evening, and I have been asked to make sure— Wait a second. Isn't Fiorika getting married after the fuck? Fiorika's getting married after the ball, isn't she? Oh no, Rod's gonna die! And I have been asked to make sure none of the guests are lost and wandering the hallways. I've been walking around for a while, directing any late guests in the right direction. That should be everyone. But as I turn the corner, I notice two people lingering by a column. Excuse me, the throne room is— I pause and I look more closely at the two men in front of me. I recognize them instantly. You! Him! You bother me! God damn it! What is Sir Alcaster doing outside of the throne room, and who is that man with him? Sexto! Shit! Sir Alcaster gestures me toward him, and I approach warily. This is Varg. He is one of the guests for the ball. Do you have to wear a plague mask? Do you have to? Varg sweeps aside his cape, and he bows as I curtsy and dip my head to hide my expression. I've not heard of Varg, and why would he be bowing to a mere maid? Also, why is he wearing such an elaborate costume and mask? This is not a masquerade ball. If Varg is an acquaintance of Sir Alcaster, there's no telling what or who he truly is. Varg is one of the suitors for Princess Emmy. Oh my god. Would you please escort him to the throne room? I'll be along shortly. Yes, your hiney. Varg's politeness is even more suspicious. Of course, Sir Alcaster. I meet Varg's gaze briefly and cannot help but frown at the way he is smirking at me. This way. Varg and I make— Varg is such an ugly name. Varg. And I— God, there's some sort of bug. What? The fuck did I just touch? Excuse me as I investigate what I just touched with my finger. Alright, no idea what bug it was. Couldn't find it, but it was big and it crawled and it was hard. It felt like it had really long legs. And if I feel it or see it, I'm burning my house down. Anyway, Varg and I make our way towards the throne room. I cannot help but feel wary of the fact that he is falling behind me where I cannot see him. If the maids are this lovely, the princess must truly be beautiful. Yeah, princess, you fuck. Varg laughs as I grip my teeth at the sound. What? That was meant as a compliment. I feel itchy now. I feel itchy. There's no need to look at me like that. Varg looks at me curiously. Maids are not allowed to speak in this palace. I have nothing to say. Not the most cheerful person on staff, are you? Thankfully, the doors to the throne room appear as soon as we turn a corner, and I do not have to come up with a response to his words. We're here. I gesture towards the throne room and move to leave, but Varg's voice stops me. You should at the very least escort me inside and introduce me to the princess, don't you think? No! Isn't that what a maid should do? Technically, that is the announcer's job. But Varg came so late he probably already missed the introductions. I wouldn't want to think badly of any of the servants at the palace. I take a deep breath and calm myself down before turning toward the doors. Follow me. I can tell the moment I step into the room that the official introductions have already passed. Most of the guests are have already begun to mingle and scatter across the throne room as the band sets up. No one noticed when I walked into the throne room in front of Varg. I do not trust Varg, not if he's associated with Sir Alcaster. I might have time to warn someone about him while he's distracted, but who? Warn Emmy. My attention is quickly drawn to where Emmy is moving between groups of people, introducing herself and making light conversation. I know this will be forward upon, but Emmy's safety must come first. I make my way quickly over to Emmy and curtsy just off to the side, trying to draw a little attention to myself as possible. Prince Emmy, may I have a word? Emmy is clearly shocked at my intrusion, but she masks it well. Excuse me, it appears my maid has something for me. I draw her closer to the walls where the crowd blocks us from view. I wasn't expecting you to be here, Sexto. Not that I mind, but won't you get in trouble? There's no time for that. I take her hand in mine and look at her somberly. You have to watch out for this man in the masks. In a mask. Sir Alcaster brought him to the ball. Why should I be worried, then? I can't exactly tell that I think he's a witch right now. There are too many people looking. Just please be wary of him. I'm sure there's nothing to be worried about from anyone here, Sexto, especially if Sir Alcaster is involved. On the contrary, if Sir Alcaster is involved, I would also recommend staying on your guard, Emmy. Rod? I turn in shock to see Rod suddenly standing beside me. Use your trust, Sexto. Excuse me. Fuck. I jump back at the sound of Varg's voice. Rod takes a step forward and places his hand on my shoulder to steady me. I do not believe you've been introduced. Varg looks at me for a few moments, but I say nothing. He eventually turns to Emmy, a wolfish smile on his face. My name is Varg, and you must be Princess Emmy. The tales of your beauty did not do you justice. Emmy flushes as Varg reaches for her hand and presses a kiss to the back of it. Still grinning, I can feel Rod tense behind me. May I have the first dance? You know. Emmy bites down on her lower lip as she stares at him. I become acutely aware of just how quiet the throne room has become. She cannot refuse him with so many people watching. I feel sick, but I cannot bring myself to say anything more as Emmy puts her hand in Varg's. Ugh. What a gross name. I accept Lord Varg. Ugh. The moment Emmy makes her way to the center of the dance floor, a man signals to the band and the musician starts playing. This feels wrong. I can only nod as I watch Varg pull Emmy closer. At first it is just he and Emmy dancing, but then other couples gradually trickle in to join them. I don't like this at all. Rod and I watch in silence as the first dance continues on. I know for a fact that Rod must see the dreamy smile in Emmy's face as certainly as I can. Certainly? Okay. When the music stops, both of us move as one toward Emmy. Even though the dance is over and Varg has released her, they still stand close together in the center of the room. The silence is interrupted when the double doors open and Sir Alcaster, along with two knights, stalk into the center of the room where Emmy and Varg stand. Their arrival causes an uneasy stir in the crowds. The king rises from his throne, eyebrows drawn. Alcaster, is there some kind of disturbance? Alcaster says nothing as the king's station... Sorry. I'm so interested in it that it's hard for me to read out loud. As the knights stationed around the room approach Emmy and Varg and stand around them, encircling them. Emmy's expression shifts from confusion to fear. The crowd becomes even more anxious. Alcaster, explain this! Alcaster briefly glances at him and says nothing. He turns back to his knights and snaps his fingers. The knights pull out their swords and point them at Emmy. Oh my god! I reach out to grab Rod's hand before he can make his way toward her. Rod is too dangerous. They got those pointy sticks. I know, but thoughtless actions have the potential to put Emmy in even more danger. Rod's only response is to tighten his grip on my hand. I place my other hand over to reassure him, and slowly but surely his grip begins to loosen. I turn my gaze back to the king. Alcaster, stop this immediately! What do you think you are doing? Something I should have done a long time ago. Oh dear. I have been nothing but loyal to this kingdom, and all I have ever wanted was for Angiel to thrive. But ever since the queen died, this kingdom has become weak. It is because you are a weak ruler, Gennaro. What? That's rude. The people were more productive back then, more disciplined during the late queen's reign. The kingdom has become less productive without fear to drive them. When there is power, there is order. Power is not something that should be needlessly used to control people. It is used to protect them. You, of all people, should know that. Sir Alcaster shakes his head. I, of all people, know that the order is what makes... hierarchy, stronger. I am only doing what is necessary, and reorganizing the system. I suddenly can't read. Hand over the crown, Gennaro. Sir Alcaster turns his head to Varg, who remains standing beside, scared at me. You will obey me if you do not want your precious daughter harmed. Please leave my daughter out of this. Oh my goodness, where did you come from? Emmy steps back, her eyes now brimming with tears. Varg sees the princess! You traitorous asshole. As soon as Sir Alcaster gives the orders, Rod immediately lets go of my hand and rushes towards his sister. You're gonna get killed, you bitch! Bruh! I quickly fall after him, but Rod suddenly stops in his tracks. I bump abruptly into his back. Rod. Varg. What's going on? Sir Alcaster's booming voice echoes around the room, which has suddenly gone eerily silent. My eyes move to Varg, but he is standing motionless. What's happening? Finally, Varg smirks. He steps to the side, standing in front of Emmy as if to block her from view. Sir Varg, what's going on? You must be delusional, old man. I'm not letting you anywhere near the princess. What's going on? The knight's next movements are a blur as they rush at Sir Alcaster. In mere moments he has been disarmed and pinned to the ground. What? Several more knights have also appeared from behind to surround Sir Alcaster. A man emerges from in between the circle of knights and moves to stand beside Varg and Emmy. Mithras? What the fuck's going on here? I'm so confused! Who's good and who's bad? I don't understand. I'm so lost. Sir Mithras looks at Sir Alcaster disdainfully. What is the meaning of this, Mithras? We had a deal! The anger is now palpable in Sir Alcaster's flushed face. Did we now? Mithras, explain yourself! Sir Mithras drops to one knee in front of the king. Of course, your majesty. He raises his head slightly to look at the king. I have known for a long while that this man you see before you is a traitor. I was even aware of his plans, but I could not tell you of them without any evidence. 2 of your knights have tried to inform you of these plans before, but we all looked down at them with disdain. We had to make sure that it did not come unprepared like they did. Jurian and Garland. Oh, babies! I totally forgot about them. Both of them knew of Sir Alcaster's plans. Was that the reason they were dishonorably discharged for false accusations? They knew enough of his plan that I could thwart it. What the fuck that means? This is why I thought the best way to reveal his dastardly ways was to craft a fake alliance with him. Sir Varg and I have been working together and to unravel Alcaster's plans, your majesty. Varg is an invaluable accomplice. Wait, Sir Mithras has been pretending to work with Sir Alcaster this whole time? And so we arrive at the events tonight. I apologize for undertaking this task without seeing your counsel, your majesty. But I could think of no better way to end this madness once and for all. You lying snake! My hero! Sir Mithras stands and turns to Alcaster. He gestures at him dismissively. Seize him. The knight's next movements are a blur. The men rush Sir Alcaster all at once. In a mere moment, Sir Alcaster has been disarmed and is now... Did I not just read that? Was that not already a line? Isn't Sir Alcaster a witch? Why is he not using magic? Mithras, I am indebted to you for saving us. This whole kingdom is... I only did what was necessary, your majesty. The king glances at the knights, then at Sir Alcaster, his gaze steely. Take them away. I have a feeling, though, that this is still part of their plan. I think Mythros is bad. That this is part of him and Alcaster's plan to like, make them not worry, to trust Mythros more. That's my thinking here right now, guys. Sir Alcaster struggles uselessly against the knights as they drag him away. He is nearly out the door when he starts screaming at the king. Gennaro, you are a fool! That man is a witch! He's a snake! You cannot trust him! No, Alcaster, I was wrong to put my trust in you. Oh. Even as Sir Alcaster is pulled from the room, we can hear him babbling in the hallways about a witch. Sir Alcaster never used any magic to escape. He was truly not a witch. Are you alright, princess? I am pulled from my thoughts when I hear Varg's voice. He's now trying to comfort a shaken Emmy. For a few moments, he looks away and his eyes meet mine. He smiles, but it's fleeting, and moments later, his attention is back on Emmy. I don't trust any of this. I don't feel safe. The ball comes to an abrupt end after Alcaster's stunt. He is thrown in a jail cell and is promised a trial after a few days' time, where he will be tried for treason against the kingdom. I still can't believe Sir Alcaster would do something like that, and so brazenly, too. I wonder, what happened to Sir Fritzgerland? That's a good question! Where's my baby? They say he vanished completely last night. Do you think he was working with his father? I don't believe that for 1 minute. The truth is that I have no idea what to think. I thought that I had everything figured out, but now I become more and more confused by the moment. Fritz was always so loyal to a fault, but then Sir Alcaster was the same way with the king, and I have not seen or heard from Fritz for weeks. I cannot really say. Why are you still here? Why do you still exist? Why do you remind me of Fritz? Good morning, Princess Emmy. Sir Varg, the fuck you doing here? Varg was offered a room at the palace for a few days' visit. He is being treated as Sir Mythos' valued guest. I have heard from the other servants that he is Sir Mythos' relative who live in a neighboring kingdom. Hope that you're feeling well now, Princess. Yes, thank you for all your help last night. Is Emmy? Blushing. I know I won't be here for long, but I do hope to get to know you better during the duration of my stay. I would love that. But I'm looking forward to spending more time with you. Oh, I forgot that I meant to be at my mother's room right now. Sexto, Sir Varg, I will see you both later. Don't leave me with him! I curtsy as Emmy walks off, leaving me alone with Varg. Fuck it. I cannot help but feel uneasy in his presence. Something about him puts me on edge. Makes me feel uncomfortable. Excuse me, I have errands to attend to. Wait. I don't want to. Before you head out, I have something to give you. Give me. Varg reaches into one of his pockets and withdraws a letter that he holds out to me. Okay. What is this about? Sorry, I got a hiccup. Well, I guess you'll have to open it and find out, Princess. My blood turns to ice in my veins. He knows I'm a princess? That could only mean that he's... I have no idea what you're talking about, excuse me. I am about to leave when Varg suddenly grabs my wrists. The play is just about to start, Princess. You have a responsibility as the main character to perform impeccably until the very end. Otherwise, well... He grins at me. It's the same wolfish smile that he flashed at me during the ball. You might miss out on your fairy tale ending. What? Before I can say anything else, I feel a hand grip over my arm. Something tugs me back away from Varg, then comes to a stand in front of me. Hey, Rod, how you doing? You're always there. You're never not there. Stay away from her. Make me. Rod. Varg looks at Rod, then at me, his smile growing more crooked. What an interesting turn of events. I wonder how this will end for the both of you. Tell me, Sexto, what is he to you? I don't know anymore. Of course it's Dots. I don't know what he is. No answer. Be in denial all you want. At the end of the day, you're going to have to decide who and what you will choose. What the fuck does that mean? Who and what? Who or what to choose? What does that mean? Silence, you're harassing one of our staff members. Of course, I apologize for my rude behavior, Your Highness. You seem to know a lot about us. Are you a... I lower my voice. Are you a witch? You're asking the wrong person, Princess. He knows who you really are. Yep. I think you two are worrying too much about me. After all, I am just a pawn in this game. Varg dips into an elegant bow and flashes one last smile before walking away. It's my thrust, you pieces of shits! You floating turds in a bucket! God! Are you alright? Yeah, perfectly dandy! I am. Thank you for helping me. My heart just skipped a beat for some reason. It's like, you are so stressed. Warning, you might have a heart attack. You know I'd do anything for you. God damn it. No, no, you won't. You hate me. You fucking hate me. Stop it. What? What? Even Sebby's like, whoa, man, you actually said that? Rod shakes his head before stepping away. Anything? For me? Why? I am just a piece of shit. Rod coughs, pulling me from my thought. It isn't possible that he's a witch or that he's working with the other witches. It is possible. God damn it, Rod. Use your words. But we have no evidence to prove it. To figure out what's going on, you need to be wary of him. Yes, Dad. I know. Rod smiles at me gently. Ew. The look makes my heart thud once, painfully in my chest. Stop staring at me like that. You're the one who started it. Rod looks away, his cheeks tinged red. I feel my own cheeks warm at the sight. This is just wrong. I wasn't staring at all. Your face looks funny, that's why. That's why. Both of you are helpless. Yep, me and Sebby on the same page. Shut up, Sebby. Rod gives me one last look before finally turning and walking away. I place my hand over my chest where I can still hear my thudding heartbeat. This feeling. If this is what I think it is, then I have no right to feel that way about him. Her look in that sentence just fit. He's my stepbrother. I shake my head to clear the thought, then glance down at the letter that Varg just delivered to me. There's only one sentence written on it. Come to the throne room alone tonight. I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to do that, honestly. Oh! But, alas, we did. Anyway, that's swell. We'll pick this up in the next episode, because shit's gonna go down and I don't want to be there for it. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.